What is up, horror fiends? Welcome back to another episode of the Horror Junkies podcast, the podcast that discusses all things horror. As always, I'm your host, Mike, and I'm joined with my ghoulish friends, Patrick and Dylan.
Oh, hello.
Well, if you're a new listener, welcome to the show. Make sure to subscribe to us wherever you listen to your fucking podcast. And if you're one of these returning people that like to listen to this podcast, we welcome you back to this weird thing that we call a show. And we love you with the awkward tight hugs and kisses. And we got an episode for you today because something came out on Friday that was, I think, I don't know about you guys, but definitely was in my like top 5 most anticipated films of 2025. And that is Bring Her Back by the Philippou brothers. And it did not disappoint. So we got a really weird episode planned for you. But before we get into it, how you guys been? How you guys doing? It's been like, what, a week and a half since we've last did an episode?
Yeah,
this is crazy. We're on fire.
Well, it's consistent. 0 days since an accident in the workplace.
Literally.
We're really getting there. I'm good. I've been good. I just got back from seeing the movie like an hour ago. I drove to Jacksonville.
I literally just got back like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, he just got home. So.
I went and saw it fucking Thursday night after work. So this is going to be a fresh memory episode for everyone.
Yeah, which for me is very important because as the sands of time pour down, I forget a lot of about.
That's why we had to do it right away. We're like, all right, before Dylan forgets.
Dylan forgets.
Yes, it's like that Slipknot song,
exactly.
Except it's before Dylan forgets.
How you been, Pat?
I've been good. Same shit.
Working, making pizzas, slinging that dough. Any more 5-star reviews we need to read off the internet?
Not for me.
my buddy Lou ate at Black Magic Pizza and posted about it, and he goes, I can't believe I've just now gone here for the first time.
God.
And
I remember when I first went, it was a fucking holy experience.
Listen, but the beauty of Black Magic Pizza is you don't have to eat the whole pizza right away. Like, especially for me, if your drive is almost 2 hours, because I'm about hour 45 from Orlando, the pizza is very car ready. Mm-hmm. You get a little hungry on your drive back to where you're going.
It's
that pizza
material
is really it's still good.
And if you could drive with no hands, you can actually eat the pizza.
I can drive with no hands.
Me too. I do it every day.
No, but my car
encouraging this dangerous.
No, our thing's a little different. My car is actually
on 10 and 2.
No, my car is literally, it has the cameras and the Super Cruise where if you just let go.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It does lane change and all that. And when it comes to eating food while driving, it's the ultimate like fat accessory that a car can come with.
Which is what I was about to say.
I call the button the DUI, anti-DUI button.
Cruise control.
It just stays.
They'll never know.
They'll never know. I was going to say, to Dylan's point, it's the one of the top reasons why the Junkie Mobile was purchased was the ability to put into a mode for us to snack and drive at the same time.
Yes. Now sometimes it switches lanes when it shouldn't, but
hey, it can't be perfect.
You're mid dip in a fucking triple dipper from Chili's, and it's fucking what the fuck? Marinara sauce. Oh no!
There's blood and honey chipotle everywhere.
God damn it. Well, it's going to be a weird, wild episode. And we do want to preface this that if you have not taken the time to go watch the latest release from the Philippou brothers, Bring Her Back, you need to seriously hit pause on this episode. Go watch that movie. Sit in a quiet, dark room to reflect on what you just watched and then come back to this episode because this movie... I went in as blind as possible. I think for me, I tried to watch, granted that the theater sometimes showed some of the things I tried to dip out or like put my headphones in real quick just to not experience it. But I did truly stay with just that initial teaser that was first released from them because I knew I was sold from these brothers because God damn it. Talk to Me was one of what it was in each of our top 3s of 2024 last year.
Yeah.
So it's just insane.
I literally came home and stared at the ceiling until I got the email that the episode was ready. My shorty was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I was laying here."
Well, I mean,
staring at the ceiling.
not to give too much away, before we get into it, there's going to be not a lot of, there's probably no news this week. The only thing I do want to shout out is there is a cool independent film, and if you follow Bloody Disgusting, you probably saw the teaser trailer yesterday, called The Willowbrook Tapes. It's a small independent found footage film that was filmed here in Staten Island. Our close friend of the show, he's been on here, Colby, who from Colby Does Horror, House of Ghouls podcast. He's actually in it. So if you haven't watched that teaser, go check it out. I'll tag their Instagram page in our show notes. Some of the weirdest, creepiest shit that I've seen, and it feels really dirty and disgusting, and like it's something you found on the internet. They sent me a VHS tape that I have not yet watched because I don't have a VHS player yet. But go check it out especially if you're into found footage. If you're into found footage that feels a little too real, I think the Willowbrook Tapes is going to be just for you. So that's going to be premiering sometime this year, I think, from the last time I talked to the director of the movie. So check that out. And then initial thoughts of Bring Her Back. We can start with Dylan. And then
hold on now. Something that we've been waiting for dropped on the YouTube.
Oh, you're all right.
How can we not at least get the pulses of everybody?
Yeah, that's right. I
for the Frankenstein trailer that dropped.
Del Toro's Frankenstein trailer, his Netflix release dropped, and I'm speechless, dude.
Absolutely. I watched it 3 times in a row.
That appears to be like it's going to be somewhat of the most book accurate adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein that we've ever seen. That's not on a play, because Benedict Cumberbatch did a play years ago that was true to the source material. But this, I don't. God,
would I love to see him? Was he Dr. Frankenstein?
No, he is actually Frankenstein's monster.
Wow.
Yeah, you can watch it online. I definitely think you're able to, like, it's through like the Royal Theater. It was one of like the English theaters that did the production. Me and Issa went and saw it at like one of those Fandango events that they used to do.
Okay.
I don't know if they're called Fandango events. Fathom events.
There you go.
That's what it was. But yeah, I am excited. It's got everything I want from a Del Toro movie as far as aesthetics and vibe, the set building, like the fact that we're going to get the ship in the in the Arctic, and Jacob Elordi as the Frankenstein's monster, and
I'm very curious.
Dude, I'm so fucking excited.
I'm very, very curious about that.
I finished playing a round of Elden Ring Night Rain last night, and I saw it fucking pop up on YouTube, and I was like, immediately need to watch this. Pat, thoughts? Have you seen it yet? Watched the trailer?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Excited?
You know me.
you know me.
That guy's
same old me.
Yeah, actually, really funny.
Especially
enough,
if it's a classic Universal monster or one of the old. Obviously, he's doing the classic story.
I want to see this man do another. Well, I want to see how this plays out, and I want to see what other types of Universal monster stories that he could take a hold on.
Wolfman so fucking bad.
I didn't know it was I didn't know it was Netflix. I did not know that.
I am sad that it's not getting a theatrical release. I will say that.
Well, that don't matter because I got that new big ass TV.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing gave me a headache for 2 days. Just my brain and eyes trying to adjust to it.
Dylan calls me Wednesday night. I'm driving into the city to go to see Koji Suzuki, who's the author of the Ring book, and Dylan's like, dude, look at it, and the box is so fucking large you can't even see it on the phone screen. It was insane.
It's nuts, dude. But my nephews came over and they watched their first horror movie with me last night. What'd you show them? Alien.
Nice.
I've been wanting to show them that one for a while
on that TV.
God, the black point in that,
dude, 77-inch screen, brother. Let me paint a picture for you with a surround sound, Dolby Atmos. All right, it's like the gods from up above, just raining down. Although that movie, I don't think that movie was in Dolby Atmos, but still, like it was good sound.
Yeah,
I was afraid it might be a little slow for them. You know, my one nephew's 11, my other one's 9.
Yeah.
But they at one point when Dallas, the captain, is in the vents and the obviously man in an alien suit goes, wah! Real quick. My littlest nephew leapt onto my girlfriend and held on for dear life. And he just went, that got me so bad. That got me so bad.
Yes.
Oh my God, that was so scary. And they both, I think my youngest nephew gave it a 4.5 and my oldest gave it a 4.9.
Hell yeah.
And now they want to dive deeper into the realm of horror movies in general.
That's what we love to hear.
Yes. They love the thrill of being scared. They knew they were safe, but at one point they were both holding each other's hands because they were like, it was very cute.
It's that age, really.
I know.
I think back of me being that age and watching horror movies and like all that kind of stuff actually really scaring you because you've never been introduced to it, right?
They ain't
and
never
the magical
seen
thinking of kids and the fact that like I can only imagine how awesome it was.
They never seen nothing like that before.
Oh, and then you get time for the Exorcist.
Yeah. No, hold on now. I don't know what to show them next, but I'm gonna think of something.
Yeah, I think listeners, if you got any recommendations from Alien, what is the next launch point for?
They want to watch Aliens 2, and I told them they might like that one better because it's more action.
Yeah.
But they might like Predator. They might like, because those movies are violent, but they're not like blood, and they're nowhere near as violent as what I just watched.
Not
by a fucking long shot. So, they'll watch Bring Her Back maybe, in a year or two. We'll see. They can go to their public school with their little more highbrow taste of movies, but no, they really enjoyed it, and it was a very good. It was a very pivotal moment for me and my nephews. So
awesome! We love to hear it.
It was a good time.
Youngsters into the genre that we love so much,
and they gave it a good review, and I thought, I was like, well then, okay.
Your future will never be the same from this moment forward.
Yes. Uncle Mike and Pat have some. They're not going to watch Tokyo Gore Police, Pat. So don't even suggest it.
Listen, I see a list on Bloody Disgusting that says top 10 most disturbing body horror movies.
No. Maybe the little youngins would love a taste of something ooey and gooey.
I mean, you could always there's movies you could ease them into body horror to see if they like Street Trash, for instance. It's so funny, but it's just so gross in the sense of like all the goo and the colors. And there's actually a really Eli Roth.
No, what a horrible creation that would be.
That's literally. He started that new studio called the Horror Section that people can buy into to own shares. And I think one of the first theatrical releases is this movie called like Jimmy and Stiggs or Stiggs and Jimmy. I can't remember the full name of it. But it's like an alien abduction movie, and it's called Jimmy and Stiggs. But it's like a neon blood soaked.
That was at the trailer for my movie, and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
It's supposed to be batshit crazy, but all of the blood. It's similar to Sea Trash, right? It's very neon, gory, bloody, messy.
Dylan, you know what you should show him?
Mandy?
No. Stop. Show him Signs.
Oh
yeah. No, that was
actually a good next
step.
That
was, oh my God, that's gonna scare the shit out of me. That thing's gonna walk across at the Key Sierra and they're gonna fucking lose their mind.
I think Signs is the next movie night, dude, honestly.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
That movie traumatized all of us.
Because we watched, I showed him Close Encounters of a Third Kind, and that movie is boring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it's a PG movie, so I'm like, maybe it'll pique their interest. Nah, they were like, this shit's mid.
Have they seen Jurassic Park yet?
So Signs will be now. Signs, Aliens, we'll kind of
yeah. And the fire
we'll go from there. But also, I sent y'all in the group chat that weird Black Phone 2 teaser.
I saw it.
I didn't care for the first one,
but
this one kind of makes me care about the next one coming out. Like my interest is
like a whole different feel.
It's like Sinister.
Yeah.
It felt like Sinister, but like in the snow, which is also weird and different. And like I don't know, but maybe it'll be like Ouija 2.
And maybe it'd be the one that's like the best one in the
well, it's because God, who directed it? It was
Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan. Yeah, and that was so maybe the sequel can outdo the first. I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested, but Good teaser, but
good teaser. Yeah, I actually haven't watched the first Black Phone yet. Just because I heard so many people it just wasn't.
It's worth a watch. Ethan Hawke is really good in it.
Yeah, I mean he's a phenomenal actor. So
I love Ethan Hawke in anything he's in. But I mean, I say it's worth a watch if it's free on streaming. If you've never seen it,
yeah, I'll give it a go one day because I have seen all the trailer, like not the teaser images and stuff, and it is kind of piquing my interest, even though I hold Blumhouse to a very, very, very low standard nowadays. Then maybe you'll be surprised. I'm hoping
if the bar's in the mud.
My goal, my thing to everyone is, if you're watching Blumhouse movies and you're like a avid horror lover, the expectation should never exceed the mid level, because they let you down so much. Yeah. In the beginning, they were a powerhouse, man. They were making some great A shit, but now it's just kind of like it's more misses than hits.
I think it's too many corporate fingers and too many punch bowls, and
I think
because you saw what James Wan did when he was given free reign to make the movie he wanted to make.
That's true,
and I think to me that was a very fun movie.
Yeah.
So I think he's a fan, awesome. But I think he has to toe the line because he's got shareholders and such a big stake from Universal. They are basically Universal's horror department.
Mm-hmm.
So it just
wrong. I think that merge. I bet you there's a definitive line of when Universal got involved to the downfall of such a predominant horror studio like Blumhouse. But
they're not all misses, but more so than not, they're misses.
All right. So there's two ways we can start this episode. Right? We can do our first initial thoughts, non-spoilers, and then cut into what I typed into my web address from that piece that I saw in the beginning of the movie, and go into the spoiler section of the episode with that. Because I do think that makes the most sense, because there is an image or video, and I don't necessarily want this to give it away to anyone that's watching this on YouTube.
Okay.
So with that being said, Pat, initial thoughts, debrief. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Is an important question.
I'm not doing well. That was a fucking trip and a half.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it very much. For the guys who gave us Talk to Me, this is a perfect your next movie, what you do after that.
Yep.
I think it touched on a lot of family issues, like the first, like what Talk to Me did, but on a deeper level.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the gore.
There is a surprising amount of gore in this movie, more than Talk to Me, actually.
And just like in Talk to Me, it was like shocking for the sake of the story to continue.
Yeah.
Because at some point I'm like, all right, when we get into the juicy shit, boom.
Boom. All right, Dylan. Pat, you got more?
No. Excellent. Great film.
All right, Dylan, go ahead.
I think this movie, it's always very hard for directors in horror to come out the way they come out, like an Ari Aster or, who's the other one? Did The Witch.
Robert Eggers,
right. So it's really hard for them in horror to have such a smash hit your first go, and then making a second movie that lives up to that expectations.
Yeah.
And do I like this movie more than Talk to Me? No. I don't like this movie more than Talk to Me. Do I like this movie? I think so. I think I do.
Cool.
I think that they have stepped their game up, whether it's because of money or because of just access to stuff. I think they've stepped up their filmmaking capabilities tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the shots and a lot of the scenes and a lot of things that were done were super visceral, but also, they do. I love the scenes where they go out into the rain and it's not meant to be focused on, but when it's panning around and you see the top window of was it Oliver? Ollie's room. He's standing there.
Yeah.
He's standing there, but
he does lurk.
He lurks. Yes. And a lot of things in this movie lurk in the finer things and in the backgrounds and stuff. And I feel like there's a lot of good attention to detail. Small cast, but brilliant cast.
Perfect.
I think, and I had to explain to my girlfriend, she was kind of hoping for a little bit more explanation on stuff.
Yeah.
She's a rom-com girly. She's a Gilmore's girly.
Yeah.
But she loves horror movies. But some of the ones like this one, she's fully aware of what an A24 movie is like, and she loves them.
Yeah.
But she's also like, I wish I had more. I wish I had more of an explanation. But they did a really good job of putting us in the position of the two main characters, the brother and the sister, as far as like you find out when they find out.
Yeah.
It's like you find out what's in the freezer when one of the characters do,
which is cool.
Which is very cool. So that they did such an excellent job of carrying the audience with the characters in this movie.
I'm kind of glad they didn't do with the whole like, is the main character going crazy because we don't see what's happening behind scenes? Like we kind of understand. We're on the same page with the main character. Like, oh yeah, we're not in delusion. Like this, we know what's happening.
Right.
Like some horror movies do that trope where it's like, oh, is this person like really seeing this or whatever? And
they're playing off the Donnie Darko, right? Is it real or is it in this person's head?
Oh, I knew it wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, the movie makes sure that
the movie does a good job with its exposition.
I'm saying like the movie could have went the other way, and
it could have.
The typical horror like this is really happening, like, and we'll get into it when we get to spoilers and stuff like that. But yeah.
Any last final thoughts, Dylan?
Yeah, I think if I can get a couple of things, maybe Mike, maybe you've done, you've seen it, you've had a little bit more time to digest it, so maybe you can kind of quell some of my curiosities.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, it's a very competent film, and it is, the gore is very fun.
Yes,
it is very, very fun. It is. Pretty sure Shorty almost broke my hand during the knife scene.
Yeah, oh yes,
yeah.
The knife,
oh god,
yeah, that was.
I had to take a breath, dude. I had to pick my hat off, fan myself.
Yeah, me too.
That was just fucking visceral,
especially when you hear it. You're just like,
yeah.
Oh god,
you know exactly what it is, and then
it's multiple senses overload for sure.
So overall, for me, I think seeing Talk to Me and just enjoying Talk to Me as much as I did.
Right.
This movie was it checked so many boxes off for me. Once again, the Philippou brothers give us this extremely emotionally disturbing, traumatic storyline with traumatized characters. And something that they've done very well is, very small cast, some of the most ideal casting I've ever seen. Sally Hawkins is fucking amazing in this movie. And they make you kind of care for all of these characters, right? We care about Andy, we care about Sally, we kind of, even though we don't really in the beginning care about Ollie, we learn to care about Ollie. We care about Piper. So I think they do a fantastic job of giving us these characters that are full-fleshed, but yet we still learn secrets that they hold and what inner workings they have going on with them. So their ability to create characters and expand them and extrapolate them into these things that we as a viewer can resonate with, right? Every single one of us has had someone who has lost a loved one, and the grief that takes over you and how hard it is to overcome that darkness inside of you and move on. And I think they do a phenomenal job of giving us these movies that are oozing with grief and trauma, but also fueling it with horror and body horror elements and scares and a sense of fucking dread. You're watching this movie and you're just you're on the edge of your seat the entire time. You're looking what the fuck's going to happen? And you just feel this overwhelming sense of dread, which I think is what makes this almost a perfect horror movie, because it has the ability from start to end to make you question what the fuck you're watching and feel for all these characters, deliver the story in a way that's not just giving it to you, but giving small bits for you to oh, this is what's going on. And this is what's happening. And also just take you on right turns that you never thought you were going on. I cannot describe how much I enjoyed Bring Her Back. I want to go watch it again. As soon as this comes available to buy on physical, I'm going to purchase this. I don't know, with Talk to Me coming out as well. I'm astonished and in awe of what these guys are doing. And they're giving us.
I also want to see that documentary they're working on.
Oh yeah, exactly. Which they played at the Draft House. Like we made a horror movie. I think we talked about there in the Talk to Me episode last year, but they kind of like show their behind the scenes of like, we're making a horror movie and all these things when they finally get A24 announcing to buy their movie and how excited they were. Their ability to make possession movies.
I know.
In such a unique, different,
such a
fresh.
Because again, we just came out of the era for like what, almost 15 years. There's just possession films, like just fucking.
And it was always the exorcism of blank.
Yeah. Yes. Or
the haunting in blank.
And they're always the same formula, right? It's someone becoming possessed and someone coming to exercise and all of these crazy things. And like, and I'm not trying to go into bring her back, but so much more would Talk to Me. Like that is a possession movie in itself. And it's just done in such a cool way that we've never seen. I think that's why it had such an impact.
And I think it's because back then either YouTube didn't exist or it was just starting to form. And I feel unlike, some people will say, oh, well, anybody can make an album in their bedroom. So the music, there's too many albums. There's too many of this, too many of that. I think with YouTube, it gives more of a voice to people because you've said it all the time. You'll come up with an idea for a horror movie either in your head or with your friend.
Yep.
And you'll be like, see, that's original. No one fucking whatever.
And then you fucking go on YouTube.
And then but people, they'll take that idea further. They'll do a little low budget thing on YouTube, but they'll execute it well with the script and their style. Mm-hmm. And I think that allows people with original ideas who don't have a corporate backing. Not that A24 is not a corporate backing, but it's not like
they're not like most studios.
It's not like a major. It's not Disney. They're not owned by Disney.
Yeah, they're very much in line with the director is an artist, and we need to let them shine. And I'm sure they do. I'm sure that as all studios do, they have producers that give notes and things like that. But just like every other studio, there are probably directors they work with. It's like Final Cut. You have the rights to the final cut.
Yeah,
whatever. So I'm not going to sit here and say that A24 doesn't mingle with movies. But I think that they give a lot of weight and room to breathe.
They're a lot more lenient.
Yeah. Which is why I'm excited they're they're the ones doing Elden Ring. I wouldn't want any other studio to touch Elden Ring because Elden Ring is just such a complex story. And I think you really need to let whoever's writing and directing that just go bananas with it, whether they go with America and they go with XYZ or this person, I applaud A24 for allowing people to tell the stories in the way that they want to tell the story. And that's why I think they have had more wins than any other studio that I know, with only a few misses. And the misses aren't even like huge misses. They're kind of like, that was okay. But
I can't even think of like a miss that I've seen from them. I'm sure there are. I have to be reminded, but
Men.
It's hard. I didn't see Men.
Men is not a bad movie. It's just I don't think it worked for a lot of people.
You have to understand the concept and let it take you there and be okay with it. As from what I've heard.
Yeah. With Bring Her Back, just kind of like whipping it back in here. For me, like my last final thoughts, and we can kind of play what I got. I'll share my screen and stuff and we can watch it. I think the cinematography in this movie was haunting, was amazing.
Exactly.
The sound design in this movie, I felt like it lingered as I walked home. I feel like it stays with you. And I think that their director of photography is the same person who worked on Talk to Me. I think that he has grown as a filmmaker as well. And it's just, I can't go watch this fucking movie. If you're literally on fence and you're like, I don't want to believe the hype because hype is going to ruin it for me. It's like, listen, the hype for this movie is fucking real.
This movie is more about
it's terrifying. It will emotionally destroy you. Especially the ending of this movie. It is goddamn. I can't, I need to talk about the things that happen in this movie. So with that being said, Dylan, play the beat. So people from now on, we're going to be talking in depth about Bring Her Back. So again, if you have not watched this movie, for the love of God, pause the episode and go watch Bring Her Back.
You're not going to watch that link. Alert, dude. You can't just do that.
What the fuck? Cool.
You've been warned.
You've been warned. So when you go watch Bring Her Back, in the beginning of the movie, if you caught it, there is a URL web address that is shown before the movie starts that says, "This is not a cult.xyz." And in my benevolence was like, I'm going to type this into the web bar and see if this is a real fucking thing.
I thought that was a production company.
Same. I was like,
Yeah,
this is not going to be real.
Like, that's odd.
So I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you guys can see it.
Sure can.
We're going to hit enter to go to the website. And we're going to hit.
Oh boy.
I don't see anything. Okay.
Dude. What the fuck is The thing is, I don't know how long it goes.
Just let it play out.
She doesn't look well.
It has to have an endpoint, right? It has to have a.
I mean, is there a
no?
time
There's
bot?
nothing. There's no, like I can pause it. That's about it.
Remember, Mike discovered this right before we recorded.
Literally. So,
audio listeners are going to have a hell of a time.
Yeah, they're going to. What the fuck?
And then you left it right when shit was happening. Go back.
Oh God, there's more happening.
You can hear it in the background. I'm going to let it play in the background.
Yes.
While we talk about the
comforting
episode.
sounds of smooth jazz.
That's it. That was it. That scream. That was the last part of it.
Okay.
That was disturbing. I love that.
Yeah. That was fucking weird. So yeah,
it was just a close up of a lady
with a fucked up mouth.
With a fucked everything's she's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching on YouTube, and maybe when the time I release this, I'll push the video into the episode so people on Spotify can watch our faces and see that shit. That was terrifying. We literally, I remembered it, and I was like, I'm gonna type it into the web address because technically .xyz. I mean, like they have to be. Yeah, it has to be a website, and that is what played. And I felt like we needed to share it because I think it also just adds this weird extra element that's in this movie, which is all of these videotapes that Sally Hawkins' character Laura watches, which are all these, like, they're not found footage. I mean, you can kind of classify them as found footage, but it's all of these weird ritualistic videos of things happening from various dark websites, right? If you look in one, there's like, writing in Russian for a website. And then there's another video of something else happening. So it just really heightens that what is happening in this movie and Bring Her Back has been done before and is being done around the world. And whatever it is not a cult. I think that's the funniest part about it.
Yeah.
This is not a cult.
Is it, because for me, is it like, because there is a very fat, very naked man in the beginning of the movie.
Yes,
you can see him in the trailer where he walks up to the girl that's like in the circle, and he just puts his hand on her head. You can't see his dingling because his belly's too big. which is also masterful cinematography. So, but I was kind of they don't tell you who he is.
He's not important.
Well, is he? Is he like? Because
what you're watching is so. So let's get into the fucking movie. Right?
Please.
So Bring Her Back is essentially a movie about a brother and sister who uncover this terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother. And what happens in this movie is we have Piper, a blind girl or partially blind girl. She's able to see light and shapes. And her brother Andy, stepbrother Andy, are put into the foster care system because their father is dead. It looks like he OD'd because he had throw up all over him and stuff while he was showering. Yeah. There is a dick. If you're someone who doesn't like to see PPs, full frontal dick.
I don't know who you are, but quite frankly, I don't want to know who you are. Full frontal dick's the best part.
Exactly.
Should happen more often. We
need more full frontal dick.
Hereditary was brave, and then no one else chose to follow.
Yep.
And that's kind of how this movie
give us more wang.
More wang.
More wang, please.
Listen, boobies were the thing of the 80s. In 2025, we need wangs.
Gen Z gets wangs.
But yeah, so that kind of like catapults the whole narrative of this movie. Andy and Piper are taken from their household. We learn to find out that it was never an actual welcoming home for Andy.
No,
his father, shocker alert, beat the shit out of him in the bathroom and hence why Andy can never take a shower. But anyways,
see, I thought it was something different.
What'd you think?
What?
I thought his dad molested him and he couldn't go in the shower because he was dead because he died in the shower.
It could have been one or two things because they don't say it, but something was happening.
There was abuse.
I mean, no, Andy does say that his dad used to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he used to do
I thought he said he touched him. But he said he never touched her.
Yeah. Well,
so I guess it could have been
laid hands on her.
Okay, so it was probably violence, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was more so violence. That Andy's father was extremely abusive towards Andy.
Yeah.
And Andy's problematic childhood was only because when Andy's biological mother died or they left, whatever happened there, and his father married Piper's mom, it was like Andy didn't exist anymore. So Andy acted out so that he would be seen and be like, hey, I need my father or a family unit to keep things going on. So,
which is sad because that happens. That's a very common thing, unfortunately.
Because when Andy and Piper go to the foster home system, they were going to split them up. Piper was going to go to Laura's home alone, but Andy fought tooth and nail. Was like, listen, I want to be with my sister. I want to take care of her. We have a relationship with each other. We trust each other. And I do not want to be split up because I'm going to apply for guardianship when I'm 18. And
which is in 3 weeks. And they act like it's 3 months,
actually.
3 months.
Yeah.
I thought it was 3 weeks. Okay.
So I think like really cool. Like I think the pacing overall, like the way they do things, like the starts in the beginning, showing the girls being mean to Piper and Andy, being her caretaker, and also showing her protective, not, lying to her to help, what he believes is better for her. Right. No, they were dressed horrible. They didn't dress well. Like you got better looks and they're not making fun of you. Like he's all actively trying to protect Piper. But to get into your point with the man and the tape, what we are watching are dark websites of different rituals being performed at the center of this movie, which is what Laura is attempting to do. Somehow, some way, Laura found online a ritual to bring back someone dead.
So is it like a cult that films the procedure and ritual and then okay, they say that, but you saw what I saw, right?
They were all in their tiny whities. It's
not a cult.
So we don't know, right? Because they don't explore that aspect of it. We just know that there is people who are aware of this angel, right? Angel in quotes.
Yeah,
that's my thing. Who has
the ability to bring people back if you follow the ritual steps, which
we all know that's no angel.
I mean, actually,
it could be.
It could be biblically depicted.
Biblically,
it could be. We don't get enough. We don't get enough visualization of it, which I think is fucking phenomenal. The fact that they really short glimpse it in a particular scene, but we never truly see what is inside of, shocker, spoiler, Ollie. Because Ollie is one weird fucking kid and he is haunting my dreams.
Ollie is, in my opinion, one fudged up little cracker.
Yeah.
He is my God.
Who does Ollie remind you of?
Cole Fletcher.
God damn it.
I looked at that kid. I'm like, that's Cole and or the I Like Turtles kid from the internet.
Which is the same guy.
Yes.
Has to be.
Same kid.
Yeah.
I mean, just
continue.
Going into that house with Laura and the way she treats Piper to how she reacts to Andy is so insane. And it's like immediately she is trying to drive a wedge between them, which is her goal. Yeah. She never wanted Andy in the house in the first place because he's 17. He's a man. You know, she's like, that's an aspect of it, right? She definitely plays on that aspect of him being an aggressive young teenager.
She was a counselor,
and hatred, and she was like she knows
all the right moves.
And then, like, you know, it was just done so well, you know. Yeah. Right then and there when she sees Andy lying to Piper about how Ollie looks, she plays into it. Yeah, he has luscious red locks, and from there it just spirals, dude. And the constant changes.
She has her fucking dog stuffed.
that right there was the number one sign.
Yeah,
like that has her dog stuffed. No thanks, dude.
I've seen that before.
I mean, yes, too, but also I'm out. I'm good. I'm good, dude.
What else they have stuffed?
But I'm trying to figure out what does that make sense about the tapes? That I don't know if it's necessarily a cult, but it's people that have learned the ability to do this.
Right.
Yeah, because they're active. Because in the rituals, they have camcorders and they're actively filming everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's multiple things. It's not just one thing happening and they're focusing on that. There's multiple people being touched on or like being observed or all in these white circles. So to me, it's kind of like
it's a religious
because like you said, she was watching him on tapes. So it's like they recorded on tape. How did she know about the tapes?
The tapes. So remember,
you said URLs.
They were recorded on tapes, then uploaded to the internet.
Right.
And then she probably burned them to tapes because those files were probably taken down.
Maybe, or maybe it's like, I don't know. See, that's the thing. Maybe you go on the website, maybe you get them from there. I don't know. But I mean, they don't tell you. So you just gotta guess.
Which is the part of the movie I liked because I think it would definitely take away the focus of what the main theme of this movie is.
Yes.
Because I think no matter what, I think no matter what, we're talking about a woman who lost her child and she's going to look for any way to bring back her daughter, rather if it's a... Huh?
You're going to bring her back?
Bring her back?
You're going to bring her back?
Exactly, the title of the movie. You know, and I think any aspect of explaining how she got into it would have just taken away from the pacing of the movie. Which a lot of these movies that do that, they have like
you can over
fucking bearded guy on the camera being like, well, there's actually here's exposition of why this is happening,
or having Laura research the internet for all. Because like
they don't call a professor at a college to explain
exactly.
You know, he's a leading expert in fucked up videos or demonology or something.
There's
and
no need to explain it, and that's what I love about the Philippou brothers. They give a level of understanding to the audience, being like, you know that this lady's not stupid. No, she is a licensed clinician. She has gone through college. Her ability to find things is not outside the world of possibility. Exactly. So we're not going to take the time to explain that. They don't do it and talk to me. They don't explain it. They don't do it and talk to me either. Which I love. There's like, there's a hand that has some sort of connection and it has some history that we don't really know if it's true or not, but that's it.
Kudos to these directors that said, we're going to cut the fat. No bullshit. We're just going to give you full story and not step away from what the main themes of this movie movies are.
I think people are so used to getting origin story movies.
Yeah.
That they're not used to looking at the movie and being like, it's just like you said, talk to me. Nobody knows where the hands come from, but the characters you're watching in the film are discovering this thing the same time you are. Mm-hmm. It has been happening. It's been going on. And now you experience it with them, just like this movie. It's like these films have been made. These rituals have been done before.
In the 80s.
You don't know where you come from, but this is an example of two people that are now in the midst of another ritual.
Yep. And if you really need that level of explanation, here it is. Laura is a mother stricken by grief and loss. Yeah. She wants, more than anything, for her daughter Kathy to come back in her life. So, as a mother searching on the internet, ways to deal with grief, ways to deal with the passing of, it is not out of the world of possibility that she would come across a Reddit board with some talk about, hey, I saw this online.
Hey,
a ritual can happen.
like some fucking ad.
Think about it. It's not that fucking hard. People do seances and Ouija boards all the time. If you stumble onto the paranormal Reddit board and you click on a link that says ritual known to bring back deceased loved ones, and you click on it, and in there is a link to a video of, say, the video in the movie, right? The one where it's talking when the thing comes in and puts all the goo in the woman's mouth and she comes back to life and the loved one is there hugging her. That's all you need to justify that it's real.
Yeah, because the gears start turning.
Exactly.
Hey, the gears start turning. Nobody
lost a loved one, maybe a child, maybe significant other, maybe
it would never be that.
Well, if you come to us.
Did your blind daughter drown in the pool? Would you like her to call your mommy one more time?
Also,
just one more time.
Just go kidnap a kid. We'll take care of the rest.
You're telling me that you don't have a gate around your
Billy
fucking
Madison
pool?
Here.
You're telling me
Billy Mays here.
You have a blind daughter that goes outside to play, and you don't have a gate, a fence that goes around your pool for when you know that you're not visibly watching her?
Well, I mean, she's blind. She can still swim, I would think.
Well, we also didn't know.
Sure,
we didn't really see how. I mean,
she was bleeding from her head, so she definitely fell.
She fell and hit her head. Yeah,
but that's why I'm saying, like, I'm sure Kathy knew how to swim. She was definitely in a swimsuit. Yeah. But also, you're telling me that your level of trust for your young teenage daughter is that you're going to leave her unattended, unsupervised? Nah, dude, you're a horrible mother.
Yeah, think of like,
come on now.
No one's calling Professor Vincent D'Onofrio so that he can go, oh yeah, that's Bagul. You know, like,
exactly.
oh, I know what this is. You do?
Child eater Bagul that I found written in an obscure text that I just.
It's funny you're saying that. I was reading this Aramaic leather bound book, and then I see something in here about a child eater named Bagul.
But, I mean,
written in blood.
Everything about this movie, the possession, again, back to, they have such a unique way of doing possession films. Yeah. Because Oliver was possessed.
Something new needs to happen.
And there's something with circles.
Oliver was a vessel. Was he a vessel?
That's 100% what he was. Inside of Oliver's body was whatever angel Laura seen, or whatever angel is.
I think it's a demon.
I'm sure, whatever. It's more than, of course. But
I mean, anything willing to bring her daughter back to her as an angel.
Exactly.
You know.
So the like, I don't even know how to describe the look that Oliver has, because even though he's not there, it's like there's nothing in behind his eyes.
Yeah.
No.
When he stares at you, and I don't know how that kid is tapped into that. He may be a little psychopath. But
maybe
when he grabs that cat,
dude, I almost walked out. You can't listen. I cannot have cats. Listen, the only acceptable cat death I've seen as of late was Smile 1. And that's just because that dead cat fucked up that little kid's birthday party. Yeah, that was awesome. Other than that, no cat killing. A dog, maybe. Maybe chickens? You have a little bit more artistic leeway with me when it comes to dog, but cats. No, man.
Dare. Don't you
fucking dare. I'm used to dog deaths, though. They're
more frequent in horror movies.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, nowadays with the
death, cat and kids.
the modern era of horror is cats. No, you gotta think about it. Like Thanksgiving had a cat. Fucking this movie had a cat.
Yep.
A lot of these movies, I think Talk to Me had a cat.
No edible dog.
They had a dog. I swore they had a cat.
No, there was a kangaroo.
No, they put the cat out. Remember, they had the cat and they put it out before they did the hand thing.
That's right. I'm talking about at their house. They had the French bulldog because remember the dude was sucking face on it.
Well, here's the thing: I think the Philippou brothers have cats, and I think they want to feature cats, but not have cats get hurt.
Yes,
the cat was fucking that boy up.
But they'll fuck up a kangaroo, no problem.
No, yeah.
So like that initial scene, and then it was just disturbing, like to say the least. Like him holding that cat and Laura freaking
letting it fuck it up, because I know what that's like.
Yeah,
I grab a hold of Dracula when he don't want. I get tore up.
But then like even from there, shit just goes crazier, dude. Andy's room is tiny. It's not a room.
Well, she found a space for him.
Yeah, she found a space to put him. You know, Piper's in Kathy's old room with nothing changed. It's literally 100%. Everything's the same as it was,
which is fucked up. Which I didn't think about that till now.
Yep.
How that room is just so perfectly set up for a child around her age.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, Andy is trying to be good, trying to stay out of trouble. He wants to be able to get guardianship of his sister when they're 18, but Laura is doing everything she can to stop that.
Well, she starts off with fucking checking his phone.
Checking his phone. She
enters the room like, who are you talking to?
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, what?
Well, to be fair, he was talking shit about Ollie. Not that he didn't have full rights to, but she wasn't appreciative of that. But she didn't need to look.
Exactly.
You know.
So already
and then she gave a comment. She's like, so I guess we're a bunch of fucking weirdos. And I'm like,
well, you are. So Oliver's a fucking weirdo is what she says.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, he is. Like, I'm sorry, but I mean, let's to say that Ollie is a weirdo. It's whatever inside of Ollie is definitely being a fucking weirdo.
He's not weird. He's just quiet. Just holds on to the cat for too long. Stands in an empty pool.
Yeah. I mean, but the things get. I mean, like Andy wakes up the next day, pissed his pants while he was sleeping.
We've all been there.
But then you see later on in the movie that it's not Andy pissing himself. It's Laura.
Yeah, goes into the room
pissing in a cup and pouring it on his pants
and pouring on him.
Listen, after Midsommar,
all to psychologically fuck him up.
All Midsommar after that shit, I don't. Oof. I just made me think of that.
I don't think Laura as a character is so fucking demented.
Yeah,
like Ollie is fucked up because he's whatever that is. Laura is worse than Ollie. Ollie is a vessel trying to finish a job. Laura is doing everything she can to mentally destroy an already mentally traumatized individual.
Right.
Well, she's a counselor. She knows how to do
knowing
that
as a clinical psychologist what to do, what avenues to pull, levers to switch and everything. Like even with after the funeral, she's like making kiss your father.
Yeah.
Kiss your father on the lips. Like
I'm a counselor. I know what I'm doing.
Even though he is not ready to deal with the death of his father because one, he hates his father for what he's done to him, but two, also his father's dead and he's trying to understand how that makes him feel and how that works for him as an individual.
And he has to be strong for his sister at the same time.
And he has to be strong for his sister.
And look what she does to kind of like make him open up to the truth.
She lets him get fucking wasted.
Well, her and his sister.
Yep.
Yes, which was a really, really masterfully done scene of like, kind of like, they're having a good time. They're all laughing and smiling. You want to like,
you see a family.
You want to like her. You want to trust her. But then she lets the little girl drink and she's obviously way too young.
Yeah.
To be taking shots like that.
Shots of whiskey.
But she was just kind of like, yeah, I'm a cool mom.
Yep.
You know, I'm cool. Like, cool. I get it. And like when they first pulled up to her house, she was blaring music. You find out why she's blaring music. Because she has to keep the fucking screams of Ollie from fucking getting out of the house.
Out of this fucking room, dude. She like locks this fucker in his room. And that was like pivoting to that scene where like she takes Piper into the city or the town, and she's like, Ollie's in this room, don't bother, it's fine, whatever, you just hang out. And he hears Ollie banging on the door or on the window. And he breaks into the door to let Ollie out. And he's like, hey, dude, you hungry? You want some snacks?
He's like, he locks you in here? Like, he's so confused.
Like, he is.
And any normal kid would be like, why? What?
This isn't right. This isn't normal. Why is this?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's weird, but why is he locked in?
Well, and I think that whole, because he was also put into a room from, like, that was the room that he got abused in. So he probably was like, hey, like, this kid's being locked in his room. Why?
Yeah.
And let him out. And then, things happen.
Things happen. He tries to bond with Ollie.
Yeah.
He's trying to make the best of his situation. He doesn't want to judge Ollie, so he takes him out. He's like, you hungry? He cuts up a cantaloupe.
But he makes him like, but Ollie is mute because Ollie has had things happen to him, right? Well, that's what Laura tells Piper and Andy. His sisters died or family died, whatever backstory bullshit that she is feeding them.
Which I think
so he is selective.
I think he knew that at the beginning too, that there's something going on in this house that why Ollie isn't speaking. So he gives him the notepad. It's like, hey, write down.
Well, no, at that point he knows he's, hey, you're mute, but can you write?
Yeah.
You should be able, just because you're mute or you should still be able to write and communicate.
Right.
And that aspect, he's like, listen, like that scene was so cool because like it's a hopeful point of the movie before complete chaos, which is beautifully done. Hey, I'm going to cut up some melon. And if you want some melon, you got to do me a solid. You got to write something. We got to talk. Just that little human connection, tapping it. And what Andy doesn't know what he's talking to, but what's cool is
the kid that holds the fucking knife with the blade. I'm like, you know what? Here, take.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, I was like, why would you even present it to him like that?
Give him the knife. Yeah.
Like what? Like obviously he's not normal. Why don't you just hand him the fruit?
Just give him a piece of the fruit. Yeah, no, that was
once
Andy being a 17-year-old and not really understanding like what he has done, thinking that Ollie can just hold a fucking kitchen knife that way baffles me.
Yeah, because he's like gripping that knife blade, and I'm already squeaming.
Yeah,
I'm already like squeamish. And I'm already like, oh God, I'm recurling into my seat.
You hear.
God damn.
Discerning fucking crunching noise. As soon as I heard it, I literally tensed up. I'm like, I know exactly what's fucking going on.
But it's worse than you imagine.
It's so much worse.
It's worse. You know it's happening, but it's worse.
Like
you see
Andy is grabbing a plate for the melon. He hears the noise and he gets up, and all we see is Nolly nomming down on a fucking kitchen knife.
Deep
like
throating,
it's fucking
by the way.
Kobayashi cutting his
vertical, not horizontal,
not
vertical. Blade side up,
cutting into the roof of his mouth,
chipping his teeth.
He is not letting go. Not letting go.
It's because the vessel can't feel it.
The vessel is hungry.
And whatever's inside of him is hungry.
Yes, that's
which
a very
is
important part of all.
But you know what that deserves?
What the hell is even that?
Exactly. So that was the second level of gore we got in the movie, because the first was Ollie breaking the glass during the funeral and cutting his hand open.
But you know what? It comes back to, again, with Talk to Me, with the kid slamming his fucking face on the table.
Exactly.
So they
know how
brutal.
They know how to give us brutal fucking graphic scenes,
and it's
just
so
leave
fun.
Them on the screen.
It is so fucking fun. Like, to me, that's true fun gore.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's over the top but tasteful.
It's
the chicken.
It's over the top in all the right ways.
Him and Andy freaking out, trying to we gotta get you to a hospital, and like not aware of what's happening. And then he pulls him past the sacred circle that's outside, and all of a sudden it's fucking Ollie starts freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
Screaming. And because what happened is whatever connection between what's inside of Ollie's body into Ollie the person is severed. And he all of a sudden now feels all of that pain.
Yes.
Oh my fucking
And
God,
was that salt or was that paint?
It's paint. So she paints
because it washes away a little bit in the rain. But I'm wondering how that circle is magic. You know, because that's what it's got to be. It's a magic circle.
Yeah, it has to be some kind of special substance that they've given someone that they provide, or they tell you like the steps to like bless it. I don't know. All we know is that it is in some shape, way, or form a method of containing whatever that entity is inside the body. It dociles them. It's similar to when that scene happens and Laura comes back with Piper and she rushes him into her room and she's doing the circle of motions on Ollie's head.
Right.
It like entrances him.
Yeah.
She's watching the video. She's like, what the fuck do I do? What the fuck do I do? And there's a videotape of like, hey, here's what you do in the sense of someone who is like disconnected from the host. You know, you start doing this circular thing. And like, that's the symbology of the circles throughout the movie. When they first roll up to Laura's house, there's that circle
around the
concrete
house.
piece. No, not around the house. There's a statue that is a circle. And then we see that in the circle around the house. There's just like, I don't know what the circle represents. I'm assuming it's playing off the fact of like with seances and things like that. There's always like a salt line.
It's like symbolism, or you know, it's like it's for the ritual
it's a protection
itself.
element. Like nothing can come into this thing, but in this world, it seems like nothing can sever the connection.
I think once something has been introduced to a host, the only way to keep it without it getting out is that circle.
Yeah.
I think the circle is comforting to what the demon or whatever is inside somebody. Cause she also draws it on the mirror with blood.
Well, that's how she tried. I'm telling you, the circle is somehow a way of reconnecting or controlling. I don't know how.
I mean, I might have a theory on this. It might be a portal because I just remembered the scene where she feeds Ollie the hair of his father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she clips that at his funeral.
And that's when, after that is right when Ollie takes a shower for the first time and his father appears.
No, yeah, it's not Ollie.
Andy.
Andy.
Andy takes a shower for the first time. He sees his father and then he has the concussion.
Which is fucked up, yeah.
So, I mean, maybe the circle and Ollie himself is a portal from letting the dead come in, maybe?
It's definitely something. So, like, I just
think,
know.
I just think it's a entrapment thing. I just think it keeps them sealed in.
Okay.
And it allows them to eject themselves into another host at will.
Ollie coming out of the circle, like freaking out, is literally proof that whatever is inside of him cannot exist outside of that area.
And it's
once
hungry.
You cross that white line, it tries to come out. Like his stomach was like pulsing, and he's screaming because he can feel all the pain that he has been enduring that he hasn't been feeling because the entity has no sensory feelings, I guess.
Right.
But yes, that the hunger element of this movie, like the fact that the tape says to mimic the death, feed the vessel, like the instructions that are like literally 3 or 4 words on the tapes. She's prolonging this because 1, she wants Andy out of the house.
Yeah.
2, I don't think she is actually ready to let go of Kathy, which is just
obviously
dead
not
in the freezer. And one of the things in this episode is like Ollie has to eat that body in order for it to, I guess in the sense of take its soul, because she references, hey, they say that the soul stays in the body for X period of time. But dude, when Ollie goes on the fucking binge eat fest extravaganza, I was like, Dylan's going to squirm. I could feel it. I didn't tell Dylan. I didn't warn Pat, didn't warn him. I was like, I just want them to go into as blind as possible to Ollie fucking ripping his arm skin off like a goddamn piece of fruit roll up.
That didn't bother me.
The teeth breaking on the wooden table when he's just nominal.
That bothered me.
Yeah, when he's
that bothered me.
That's like splinters and all in your mouth. That fucking.
And it's just like the teeth can only handle so much before they start to chip and crack. And it's just fucking. You think of the nerves in there and everything, and just like it makes your teeth chilly.
A fucking brutal movie. Like That's what I fucking love, dude. Possession, but also let's make it brutal as fuck. Like, yeah, God,
it's
damn.
it's very original, and to me, it's very original. I'm sure there might be other movies that are similar to this, but
no, this
the only one I could tap into is Talk to Me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's a movie they made, so you can't really.
Dude, that old lady, the Wendy, who comes to like once Andy's like, listen, you need to come to this house because
she was just doing her job.
This missing kid, Connor Bird. Laura has him. And that's who Ollie is. He is a missing child that Laura has.
Yeah, because
but she had that good reputation.
Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
She had that good reputation. She was our best counselor for 20 years. I worked with her. There's no way, but grief will change a person you've known your entire life into someone completely different.
And Ollie, dude, when Ollie bites the fucking living shit out of Laura.
With them jagged ass fucking teeth.
You know that fucking hurt, dude. He had some snaggle teeth. He was ripping off.
My God.
That boy was hungry.
Hooks and corners in there, man. Jesus.
She had delayed. I don't know how many days she had delayed feeding the bean.
Enough for him to bite the milk carton and start drinking milk.
Yeah,
I know.
Real,
I was like, just at the bottom corner, let it rip.
Yeah, just.
And you soon to realize like that's the entire Ollie was trying to eat the cat. Ollie ate some chickens. Ollie ate whatever the fuck was in the fridge. Plus
he didn't eat the cat. That cat got out of there. Thank God.
Well, no, the cat was bleeding. He did nibble on it a little bit.
Well, he nibbled, but he got away.
I think he got the tail.
He got the tail, yeah. And then what else did he bit? He bit the fuck out of Laura. And then she fucking extreme cleans. She did like an 80s montage cleaning session that I've never seen in my entire life.
Because that's the thing is the one thing I don't get is Andy's like, no, don't call her. We have to go over there now. And he calls his sister's phone.
Yeah.
How did he knows she checks phones? So like, why would he?
So he doesn't. But yes and no. So he understands. From my opinion, Andy understands at that point that Laura is trying to do everything she can to drive that wedge. I mean, fuck. She literally sprays Andy's cologne on her and hits Piper in the eye.
She fucking
wailed
out of her eye.
So
she bopped. That was a bop.
All of this on purpose, right? Andy goes into the room to tuck his sister in goodnight and give her, I don't remember if he gave her a kiss goodnight, but he just wanted to make sure she was okay.
She's like, this is weird.
You're being fucking creepy. It's like, no, I'm not. This is my sister and I'm making sure she's okay. But all of that is like just a playbook in her. Like, all right, I know you're in here. I'm going to acknowledge you're in here. Now I'm going to douse myself in your clone, hit your sister in the eye. So when she wakes up, I'm going to say like, oh, Andy, you were in her room last night, knowing already because of the drunken stupor that he hit Piper once when he was younger. And Piper doesn't know that because she was so young. So like, again, using that fucking like just emotional warfare that she is so hellbent and masterful at doing. I'm telling you, she is a horrible character, but such a well-written character.
Annie Wilkes.
Yeah.
Just like she's very Annie Wilkes levels of desperation and, cold, methodical approaches to like, changing a narrative or trying to, I hated her.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
You love to hate her, though.
You love to hate her. She's like that bitch in Harry Potter.
Yes.
Couldn't stand that.
You're sitting there, you're waiting for Andy to pop off, and he almost fucking does it.
Oh,
he restrained himself and punched that hole in the wall.
He laid in a fucking Kyle Monster Energy haymaker into that drywall.
She wanted that.
Oh,
That's what's so fucking insane is like she knew what to push at him, all his buttons to get him to react, so that in front of Piper, so that she can like all the things she's been telling Piper in like either off screen or what we have seen that he's angry, he's he can't be trusted. I'll protect you. He's violent. He's this, and then he does it, and then Piper finally sees it, and she's like, here's it, but
she fished for it, and he bit it. He bit the bait.
He took the bait. So I think that in that moment, he didn't think that like connection between Piper and Laura was the same as theirs. So maybe he doesn't think that she's going to go through Piper's phone. So being able to call Piper and tell her everything. Dad was a horrible person. He used to beat the living shit out of me, but I hid it from you and he hid it from you. And there's a lot of things that I've done as a kid that I regret, excuse me. Like I did hit you and I'm extremely sorry for that. Like seeing him at that point realize and being able to acknowledge all of his wrongs and come clean to someone that he's trying to like give this picture perfect ideal of the world was just awesome. And then, you know, not Wendy, but Laura hears it all. And that what leads us to the mass cleaning for Wendy to show up at the house. And because Andy has finally convinced her like, hey, something ain't fucking right there.
Yeah. And then she gets there, they check everything. Everything's fine. And then they find out it's not. They go, they go to that locked shed.
And Ollie is just munching.
But they don't show it.
Yeah. They really don't.
They show it initially when they go out there and she sees him munching and his eyes get more fucked up throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But then he takes her out there to that shed and they just show their reaction.
This old woman like,
of
oh
just
my God.
Complete horror. and that's before Laura's like, I figured out a way. I figured out a way to bring her back. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Let go of me. Let go of me.
Laura, you're scaring me. And then she's just like, I figured out a way. I figured it out. And just that craziness, the desperation, the hopefulness.
Wendy and Andy running to the car. And all of a sudden, here comes fucking Alabama State's defensive lineman, a fucking, I don't know if that was a Bronco, Subaru, whatever.
It's Australia, so it's probably a Subaru.
Fucking destroys Wendy.
Yeah.
Andy gets fucking clipped and knocked unconscious. Brutal.
Probably more than that. He's probably, he
definitely got hit by the car. Like,
not as bad as Wendy,
because Wendy was became hamburger meat in her midsection. Andy was fucking knocked into a puddle in fucking Laura kills him, which was something I was not expecting. I thought maybe she was going to like drown him and then like he would wake up later on. Oh no.
Nope. That motherfucker dead. Him and his braces gone.
And that's how, when Piper comes home, Laura's already freaking out because everything's kind of unraveling. She's like, fuck it, I gotta do this now. Brings Piper home. Piper can't find Andy, but can kind of sense something's not right by Laura's behavior.
Well, she like freaks out and like grabs her and is like, we gotta go. We gotta go.
And you're always
the caretaker, whatever, at the community center. It's like, hey, we need to talk about her eye. And she's like, no, we got to take care of this. We got to go. Also, I want to know what fucking cool blind game they were playing.
They're playing, they're playing soccer probably.
It was like blind soccer, I guess,
I think it was soccer, or dodgeball to some degree. Probably soccer, because it had like the field goals that soccer had.
And it's nice because they, even if you're not blind, everybody wears blindfolds.
Blindfolds.
So it's a good way. Cool. I really like that. I thought it was super cool.
I thought it was cool. I think it was cool to show that, like, even though Laura there's alternative motives to why she brought Piper to this. It is cool that they kind of showed that Laura, because she's had a blind daughter, she is aware of all of these things,
right,
to help build a community for Piper.
Well, I think
it's just unfortunate that she's a horrible person and she's trying to bring her dead daughter back.
But you're also worried because the rain, because of Andy's dad. When he sees them as the demon in the shower, or he sees them as whatever,
ghoul, probably.
He says Piper's going to die in the rain.
Yeah.
So it's like every time it rains, you're like, oh shit.
He tells Laura, you can't let her, or Wendy. He tells someone, I can't remember off the top of my head. Don't let Piper.
Well, he tells Laura when he's in the hospital.
He tells the one person he shouldn't. Because he tells her that, and then the next scene they go out in the ring.
They
start playing in the ring. Yeah.
Hey man, that was some good rain to play in though. It wasn't too much lightning and
a nice gentle
gentle downpour, just fun puddle rain. Again, I think this movie is so effective of giving us these like weird, like dysfunctional, like happy familial units, but then just turning it on a screw and giving us something that's so fucking extremely graphic. i.e. Piper finding her brother dead in the bathroom by dragging her finger across his braces to know that that's him.
Yeah, fucked up.
To then the pool scene with her drowning Piper to try to complete to mimic the death, right?
Yeah.
It's a part of the ritual.
Because the rain filled up the pool was empty, but the rain filled up the pool over time.
That's so much rain.
Yeah,
that's so much.
It rained a lot in that movie.
It really did. It must have been monsoon season in Australia.
Yeah. Well, they also, I'm sure the pump wasn't on at the pool. I'm sure it was very, very degraded and not cared for. So I'm sure nothing was, it would just build up. It wouldn't have anywhere to go. True. So yeah.
So there's that whole fight scene where Laura's drowning Piper. It almost happens. Piper almost goes down for the count, but she's able to manage to what'd she do?
She says mom.
Yeah, she said mommy.
Mom.
Mom.
Beautiful.
Which it just reminded me of Batman v Superman when Batman says, or Superman says Martha, and he's like, wait, that's my mom's name. We're bros now.
We're bros.
Zack Snyder, we salute you.
It works so well in this movie because there was the scene where she's like, you can call me mom if you want to. And Piper's like, well, we'll see. And it's because she's like, listen, I'm going to go live with my brother. Like, I'm not staying here forever. Like, this is an in-between situation.
She said, we'll see about that.
Yeah,
it's very much like,
you want to see?
So you're going to take her when you get guardianship? Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. Bitch. We'll see about that. Let's ask Holly.
Bam, Subaru.
Bam, Subaru.
Pissed on your
puddle
pants.
Drown.
And then she was drugging him. I don't know if you guys caught that.
What in
his creatine? That's why she was dumping it down the sink.
Yeah,
she had done something to it and was drugging him. That's why he was sleeping so fucking hard and drooling all over himself
and pissing himself.
Well, she was. I mean, the pissing.
Well, she was pissing
she was pissing on him. She brought a whole new.
It's a whole different movie.
Showers. Yeah. But when she finally escapes, this is kind of the end of the movie. Finally, I think the end of the movie is probably almost brought me to a tear because
it was very.
Piper escapes, gets to the car, and the people grab her. The cops come in full force, and Ollie is able to escape.
He's outside the circle.
He runs outside the circle, and he is just in agony. And at that point, you feel so bad for. I mean, you feel bad for Ollie once you know that he's a kidnapped kid. That what is being done to him was at first. Honestly, my initial thought was that whatever was doing the videotapes gave her a child. Like they raise kids to be these vessels that you utilize.
Buy DVD now. We'll give you a free child
exactly
the price of $19.95.
So like that was
5 easy payments of $19.99. You too can have videotapes to bring your loved one back.
Sizzle, PayPal, 4 payments, whatever you want to do. We'll
if you call in the next 30 minutes, we'll throw in a child.
But like it would make sense, right? Like they would have these vessels procured in mysterious, malicious ways,
trafficking kind of ways,
right? But no, it's like she kidnapped this kid and did this to him, and so like when you see him lying there in agony, you cannot. I'm telling you, if you did not almost cry, you just feel so fucking bad for everything that's like Piper will never be the same. Her brother's dead. Her mother is dead. Her father's dead. Nothing in her life will ever be the same.
She was almost possessed.
I don't think you could ever come back from being possessed by whatever the fuck that was.
Well, who knows how cognizant he was during that whole thing?
I think he was cognizant.
Oh God, man!
I think that's the true horror of it. I think Ollie was aware of everything. Think of it as a horrible betrayals of multiple personality disorder, where someone takes over, but you're still able to see everything that's going on, but you just don't have control. I think that was kind of how they were trying to portray that, just done in a really cool, effective way. Mm-hmm. So I think Ollie truly knew everything was happening.
Right.
I thought everything about this movie, the pacing from start to finish was extremely well. The exposition, the fact that they didn't have to tell us everything to tell us what was happening. It was done in a way for us to be able to here are some pieces and you can kind of guess what's going on. And then when you kind of see it play out, you're like, oh my fucking God. I think everyone in this movie did an outstanding job in acting. I think even though Ollie doesn't say anything in this movie, his ability to convey just loss and blankness in his face was just terrifying. It truly did like when he stares at you, you're just like, ew, fuck off. Like what's
expression is truly a part of, a major part of acting. So if you can convey how you feel without saying anything, that's wild.
Piper, Andy, I mean, everyone's
slimy kid away from me.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is up there. I think I gave this either a 4.5 or a 5 when I was reviewing it. I think for me, again, just to reiterate, it is graphic, it is traumatic, it's emotionally disturbing. You go on a roller coaster of feelings while watching this movie, from feeling sincere heartache, wincing. I winced in this movie, and I love watching fucked up shit. Me watching that kid chomp on the knife and chomp on the wood made me squirm in my chair.
Oh yeah,
it made everyone in the theater squirm in their fucking chair.
That was a cool theater experience. Everyone's like,
literally same. Everyone in the draft house was like, oh, and I'm just like,
the guy behind me was like, Jesus.
So I have no complaints about this movie. No.
Another funny thing happened in my theater.
What?
When the movie was over, so it was complete silent, and all you hear is like the chairs. Because we have no, but it's not it sounds like farts.
Everyone's just like everyone held it in for the entire movie.
Up because we needed that after that dramatic ending. We needed a good laugh.
A symphony of chair farts.
That's awesome. But yeah, I have no complaints. This for me, I think I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. I think this is. What a wild second movie from the Philippou brothers. It proves that they're not here they're not one-hit wonders, that they're here. They have stories to tell. They have stories to tell in fucking ways we have never seen before. I'm so excited to see what Talk to Me has. They have 2 scripts, by the way. They have 2 versions of the story that they can go. Do. So they're like, I think when I read it, it was like, we can either go the pathway of the characters we already know and explore that more, or we just bring in new people. I bring that element. So there are 2 stories.
Yeah, I love new people.
I would love for Talk to Me to be the next Final Destination.
Right? Right? Speaking of Final Destination, did you guys see that Charlie XCX wants the next Final Destination to be It Girls? So she wants to be in the movie, and it's just like pop singers and all. She's like me, Chappell Rowan, all of it, and we're all just getting fucking killed in brutal ways.
Please. My girlfriend would go nuts.
So bad. That would be awesome. Because Final Destination should just take that funny, gimmicky way of.
I mean, they already did with this last one. It's really it's the most funniest one out of all of them. But I give this also a 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, I didn't I still like Talk to Me a lot more.
See, I'm on fence. I think I may like this one more. I think Talk to Me is fun. I think Talk to Me is the music element of Talk to Me with the whole I think that's fun. I think I like the story and Bring Her Back more than I like the story and Talk to Me.
Okay,
but they're both great films. I think I gave them both 4.5s.
But I don't think there's.
No, I was just saying, I don't think the conversation, in my opinion, should ever be which one's better than the which, because
I'm not,
much, even though they both do possession,
comparison is the thief of joy.
Different,
yes,
and they do something so much. I love both films, so one is not better than the other in my book.
No, I'm just saying. But separate this from Talk to Me, this was a perfect paced, perfect storytelling. There was no parts of slowing down, even though there was enough room to breathe. I feel like it was perfectly balanced, and the gore was on pour. It was heartfelt. It had a story to tell. It was truly about grief and how far people will go to get a loved one back. And if you ever lost any person or anything that you love in your life, you can definitely relate to that. Yeah. And I think the villain of the movie, I guess we can call her that, she
they're complex characters in this movie.
But there's a point in the movie where you do feel for her. So,
of course.
Yeah.
And you kind of understand where she's why she does the things she does. Now, granted, it's on.
There's guilt there, right? Guilt of the fact that she let her daughter was drowned on her time. the grief of losing a child. I mean, like just
and by doing that, she was trying to kill 2 children.
Yeah, for real. Like, because people like they do the damnedest things, right? Like, I mean, like, it's people who are grief stricken they aren't themselves.
Yeah, and this is like she's like a sweet old lady.
She seemed like, imagine like if they did it, if she didn't do all this, like to roll up into this new house and she's just blaring music, having fun, to like the sense of like, wow, this may be a fun place to live. Like, she seems like a fun person. And then,
this goes not a role that this actor usually takes.
No. Sally Hawkins does not usually play this type of character.
In The Shape of Water, she's like a sweet, mute person. In Paddison too. she's a lovely person.
Well, in The Shape of Water, she is fucking, amphibian man. So, there is that.
Yeah, but that's not an act of cruelty.
That's fine.
That's pure
to each
love.
their own. She's trying to
breaking off a little piece for the fish man.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with
that. But, I digress. 4.5. Dylan, what do you think?
Go ahead, Dylan.
I'm very glad that I get on this podcast and have one opinion, and then by the end of it, having a different opinion.
I love that for you.
Well, I just saw it, so I didn't really have a lot of time to like mull over it and think about it. I think when I left the theater, I was a little more confused. I think I was hovering around a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
But I think after talking to you guys, I think I'd give it a 4. It's
okay.
I know Mike said one's not better. Talk to Me's not better. We don't want to compare movies. Fine, I will. I like Talk to Me better, but I think directors that break out with a hit movie, like it's always hard following up the second one.
100%.
But I feel like out of all the directors that have followed up with a second movie, this is the best one.
I agree.
I think it's better than The Lighthouse or Midsommar or anything like that. I think that this movie is still in their wheelhouse, but very, very contrastingly different. I think the characters are good. The way it's paced, the way the information is given to you, I think just kind of makes you focus and think more during a movie, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-mm.
Final Destination, I was in D-box seats just watching people get killed and having a great time. But this movie's a little different. This movie did not have D-box seats.
No. Imagine if it did.
I want every movie to have D-box seats.
Yeah, then you just hear
those are my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, just the chairs. Stop.
Okay. Hey, all right, guys. Something.
Before I'm gonna give it a 4.
Solid score. Solid movie. Solid score. What's up? Pat?
Okay. Can't believe this came to me. All right, the sequel. It's a merge with this movie. Yes, is going to be a merge with this movie and the Talk to Me universe.
There's already a connection in the universe.
Bring Her Back to Me.
Damn it!
That's the trilogy title right there.
Pat, you son of a bitch.
Did it again.
You did it again. But apparently, they did say that if you do pay attention, there is a subtle way that kind of connects these universes together, or the stories together. I don't know how. I haven't really dove into that yet.
Well, if it happens, I did it again.
Yeah, no, that would be hilarious. I don't know. I actually think this one, like, I think Talk to Me is a fun story to explore, especially because they say that there's another hand out there. I think Bring Her Back should be a one and done story.
Yeah.
I don't think they should ever try to explain anything other than what it is. Just it's a one-time narrative, and that's all we need. It's okay. Not everything.
It's quite all right. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So I think this is their hey, fuck it, take it, enjoy it. It's brutal. Talk to me. Let's have some fun with this one. Let's explore this this mythos that we've created with this secondary hand, and let's explore this weird ghoul world that they've kind of created. I'm excited. These guys are easily in my top 5 favorite directors now. I didn't want to give them that credit because it just Talk to Me, but now seeing this and Bring Her Back, and we know we're getting Talk to Me too. They are easily inching their way up in the top 5, if not already solidifying their spot.
Yeah,
there.
Their directors I'll always have my eye on, and whenever they drop a trailer for one of their projects, I will always be interested.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, the most important part of this is what the fuck did you, who is listening to this episode, think of this movie? We would love to hear your thoughts, maybe your insights, your takeaways. Drop comments, message us, talk to us, whatever you want to do. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Maybe if you guys send them some, we'll read some of the comments on the next episode, which I believe should be on 28 years later.
Can't wait.
I'm thinking that's the next
Yes.
movie. And speaking of which, this is airing. We're recording on a Sunday. This will probably post Monday, Tuesday. I don't know yet. Tonight, I'm not going to it, but in the city at 8:00, they are doing a live podcast where Danny Boyle, Aaron, what's his name? It's playing
Aaron Taylor Johnson,
Aaron Taylor Johnson, and someone else are going to be there talking about 28 years later and the film itself. And
oh wow,
I found out about like yesterday, super late, and like there are tickets available. I may go, but it's like 8:00 on a Sunday, and I don't know if I'm.
You should go, man. That Aaron Taylor Johnson is dreamy.
Oh, I know.
He's dreamy. I'd go.
So that's happening. So yeah, next episode on 28 years later. I'm pretty sure that's what's going up. What else is going on? Tribeca starts next week or the following week, so I'm going to be covering some couple of movies that are playing at Tribeca that I'm going to for that fest. What else is happening? What else you guys got going on? Anything? Elden Ring, Night Rain, anyone?
I'm gonna buy the game tomorrow.
Hell yeah, brother. We can team up. Yes. I've already beat the first Night Lord.
Cool.
It took 11 hours, but I finally did it.
I'll get it.
It's Dylan. It's fun as fuck because it's not. You have classes, and the way you level up is so fast, and the way you get things. It's a roguelike Souls game. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, no, and I want to buy it so that Ian can play because we game share. So yeah, it'd be fun.
And the DLC that's supposed to be coming out later this year.
Okay,
expanding the game.
Sounds good.
But yeah, guys. As always, leave us reviews, share this with your friends. Tell us what to watch next. We love doing this show for you guys. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, the Substack, all that's in the show notes. Make sure you tell your mom about us. That's important.
Tell your mom.
And as always, I'm Mike.
I'm Pat.
And I'm Dylan.
Stay weird.